everyone, it's Jack's Girl. I have a video, obviously. It's a stitching video, and it's regarding the things that I finished. So even though I've had to work so much more during these past few months, I've been able to focus on getting some finishes done. I haven't been playing around with my rotation that I have. I've been adding a few new designs in, or works, I guess, or projects, that's the word. I'm putting in some more projects. And so I thought in this video I would show you what I did get done. Pretty proud of myself. So, happy Memorial Day. And what I mean by happy Memorial Day, I'm happy that there have been millions of Americans who have sacrificed themselves, whether they wanted to or not, but a lot of them willingly, to fight for our country, for our freedoms, to stand up for ourselves, whether they were doing policing type military warfare, or just keeping, standing up for their rights, or what their region's rights were. I mean, that's a lot. It still doesn't matter. No matter how they got into it, they did it. And many of them were young people, young men and young women. So I want to stop and take a mention of that for a moment. And this shirt, this 9-line, I know it's probably backwards for you guys, but it's 9-line. It's a company that I found online a couple of years ago, actually, and I occasionally buy shirts from them. It's American made. They employ veterans. And the back of them, this one here, this shirt, oh, well, here, look at this one here. It says 9-line Apparel. And this one here, it honors the nurses, and what does it say? Make the difference. There you go. So I bought myself this one, and then it's like a limited edition, and then I bought my husband also one that's limited edition for his line of work. So if you're interested, you might want to go check them out. 9-line, put it in there. You should be able to find some shirts, and they're actually reasonably priced. They fit very well. They're soft. They're comfortable. I've already washed this one before I started wearing it, and it's just fabulous. So giving a little shout out to them, even though they don't know who I am, and I would probably be mortified if somebody watching my videos who's not a stitcher. I don't even tell my friends that I do this. My husband knows about it. He doesn't watch my videos. Smart man. All right, but you guys are here because we have something in common, and that is stitching. So let me show you what I finished first. Let me see if I brought along a lot of my stitching stuff with me. I'm in Utah because I was able to get some time off. I was able to get 4 days off in a row. Yeah, exactly. There have been no 4 days off in a row for anyone, but they did give it to me because I've been working a lot extra and filling in when they call me at the last minute, and so I was granted a holiday of all things. I normally don't take a holiday off, ever. I usually work because somebody needs to work and nobody wants to do it, so yeah, I dedicated my life to what I do, so I work. Anyways, the first one comes out of the Ultimate Cross Stitch cards, and it's 201 charts. This was from 2008 and volume 17. So if you like what I show you, it's going to be from this little collection here, The Wedding Day. And I chose to make this one. Super cute, isn't it? It has those little mice with a cake. This is a design by Lucy Heaton. Oh my goodness, I love her stuff. Super cute. And here is my finish. And I finished it actually the day after my wedding anniversary because I've been working. I had to work on my anniversary, and which happened to be Mother's Day this year. And because, sad story, Jane Nielsen is the only one who knows besides my husband how hysterical I was. It was a week before Mother's Day. I got a notice from work saying, unfortunately, you have been exposed by a patient who knew she had the virus, came in and didn't tell anyone. She knew because she was informed by her doctor. Her doctor knew and didn't inform us that, hey, I have a patient that's coming. So none of us knew. And unfortunately, I do labor, delivery, mother, baby, and nursery. We have policies that people are to wear a mask, but if they don't want to, we can't force them because they're sick. And maybe mentally they can't handle wearing a mask while they're sick or for whatever reason. And so therefore, being the professionals that we are, we're treated with respect and allow them their differences, which is completely fine. I want to honor everybody's differences. I don't want to say that we can't, right? I mean, nobody wants to have to do what everybody else is doing because we all have, even if it's just the one small thing that we don't maybe agree with, we should, I like the fact that we have that right. And so we extend that right to our patients as well. And she refused to wear her mask and she delivered her baby. She was, I can't get into too much details. I have to be very careful, but, it ended up being a nurse delivery, and we went running in there, and unfortunately we weren't prepared. We didn't have time to put on the N95s. In fact, the nurse that actually caught the baby didn't even have on the proper, I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, it was horrendous finding out that we were all exposed, and over the time that she was there in the hospital, 90% of the nurses were exposed. Some of them took medical leave right away. They're older nurses. Their physicians were like, absolutely not, you cannot go back to work. The rest of us that had to work because we're short, like I do nursery as well, and there's only a few of us that have that skill of doing nursery work. We had to come back in, so it was checking our temperature. We had to check our temperature twice a day. We had to check in. It was devastating, and I was beyond hysterical. I couldn't believe that somebody would do that. I just couldn't believe it. Moving forward, my husband quarantined himself away from me. He took my daughter. I wish I had something to drink. My throat is dry. He took my daughter and her dogs, and he left, and he was gone for a total of 2 weeks. And during that 2 weeks, mentally, it was devastating. It was really hard for me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting off on all this, and probably you guys are tired of hearing about all of it, but it was a rough 2 weeks. And then when my husband came back, my test results hadn't come back yet. So I was quarantined to my bedroom. I had to wear a mask, through interactions and very, very small, limited interactions with my family until my test came back, and they came back negative. Thank God. I don't know how I came back negative. I don't know how that happened, but I'm just so grateful. And just the Lord's protecting me. Let me tell you, boy, was there some prayers, lots of prayers. I pray anyway, but the fervent prayers of, please don't let me be infected. And there were days when I wondered, I had a headache or something else was going on, and I don't normally get a headache, so some sketchy times there, but I made it through. So yay me. Some of the nurses are off, and I can't go into further details on private life. So now there's many of us that are trying to fill up those slots that are available, unfortunately. But we're moving forward, going forward. So anyways, I worked on this. Lots of prayers during this, thanking God for my health and for my marriage and the love of my husband. And I did put my signature in there. I don't know if you can see it because it's hidden pretty well, but it's over there. And yeah, I put it in there. I hit it very well. And then I put the date 2020. So what I'm planning for this is I would love to get a frame that holds 4 spots, like a white one, and have them all put in there. So this is on a pink 14 count Ada and all DMC. I love it, and it's all the called for colors. I love it. The only thing that was different is that they didn't suggest pink. I did because I liked it. Okay, so that was one. And then my second finish, I finished this in time for my mother's birthday. This is the Nesting Hen series, and it is Rhode Island Red. And she comes out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, September, October, 1988. This one, I like this one better than the other one. I don't know why. I think it's the richness of that, kind of that rustic red. I did use beads for their eyes. That was just my own idea, and because it's for my mother, I put the signature where you can see it. She doesn't watch my videos either, so it's okay that I said that I put the date 2020. This one I loved, and I hope, Taryn, I really hope you stitch this one up, because this one was, I think, an easier one to stitch than the other. So this is what, this was the first in the series, but I did this one first because it was beautiful. And so I've seen other people start with this one first. Taryn from TV Designs, Taryn Verley, stitched that one. It's in color, but because they're coming up next, they don't show it to you in color. So that's the one I did. And I did not do the frame because the, like this border, because the frame that I'm putting them in won't even really hold that anyhow. This is the next one, and I told my mother that she's going to get another one. So this was a surprise. Well, this one was her first one. It was her Christmas one. That was her birthday surprise. And then this one here I might do for this Christmas. We'll see. Just to finish them off. But I told her, I said, there's a collection, and you're going to get them all, like it or not. She said she's excited, so that's good. Now my last one I have to share with you all is this little, whoa, this little cutie. There we go. Let's see. This one came out of the Better Homes and Gardens. There you go. The Better Homes and Gardens. You could probably use it to make a border with it. But Jane Nielsen and I decided to work on something, and then we started this around Easter time. So the bunnies were perfect. I did not use the call for colors. The call for colors are a little bit strange, and I don't think they're necessarily what they charted was what they used at all. And I think I've noticed that throughout the book. I've done several designs, and I realized that it's not what it looks like. So Jane Nielsen, she used cuter colors. She used more pinks and really pretty pinks than now I wished I would have. But I was so set on not having to, I guess, come up with my own idea. I don't know. I was being lazy. And lazy doesn't work. Unfortunately, I wish I would have done a darker green for our initials, Sarah Lee and Jane. We have them together. I liked them facing this way because I could have done it the opposite way, but then it's kind of coming out and these guys are facing in, so I chose to do it this way. And then I just did some like little stitch around. This one I'm going to turn into a bookmarker. I have some fray check that I'm going to put on the ends here. And this was just a scrap piece, a 14 count. Ada that I had was the perfect size. Turn it into a bookmark, and so I will find some fabric. I'm going to find some fabric to put it on. But let me show you guys. So Better Homes and Gardens, it's a big, huge 201, I think 2001 designs. And there it is. I put a little note of what I stitched and when, but their colors look different from what they wanted me to use. Like this. Do you see that? See that one? That's one that they wanted me to put in the ears. And I started doing that, and no, I didn't know. But that's okay. You know what? Whatever. I did make this little guy before, and I have not fully finished it. I did that and that and that. I need to fully finish my stuff. I'm bad at it. It's not that it's not my favorite thing. It really is not my favorite thing to do, because I'd rather stitch. I'd rather do everything. I wish I could do everything, and I just can't. Especially with working all the time. But I don't feel like I'm as creative and that like some are, but I need to. Taryn inspires me. Somebody else. Jane Nielsen. Let me just say, that girl, she needs to do something. She whips it up. She was showing me some outfits and costumes that she's made for her daughter over the years. Like, I would be thinking about it, be like, yeah, I can do that. Do you know how much stuff I have in my closet? Because I'm like, oh, I can do that. I've purchased, I've done. I purchased a lot of things to make masks. I have spent over $100. I haven't made one yet. Haven't even taken the sewing box, the sewing machine out of the box. But in my defense, and I'm going to be defensive for myself. In my defense, I have had to work a lot of extra shifts. So I took everything to California thinking I was going to have time. But I come home and I'm like trying to sleep. And then my neighbors are like, hey, we're home. Let's do some house renovations. And both my neighbors on both sides of my houses. Now I live in California, so like you're this close to your neighbors. In Utah, I'm like, well, where I live in California, yeah. Northern California, they have more space. They're smart. Orange County, California, no, everyone wants to live there, and they're like, hey neighbor. And at least where I live, we still have a little bit more space. We're grateful that we have as much property as we do. At least we're not like this, like in Corona, California, where it's like everybody lives, and you're just like, yeah, no, that's okay. I mean, if you like that sort of thing, the houses are beautiful. But still, kitchen was remodeled, I think, or something in my one neighbor's house, and the other one has like done so much work. And then the other day I came home after not sleeping well and working. Oh my gosh, it's been so busy. They're taking off the roof and putting on a new roof. I'm like, nobody cares. I work nights and sleep. My husband even offered to get me a hotel room, but then I'm like, they're putting all kinds of people in hotel rooms. And my family is like, well, why don't you take a sleeping pill? Because I would be asleep till next week. That wouldn't do me any good. I can't even take cold medicine, not even Dayquil, because then I'm asleep. It's horrible. That's fine. It's a pure system. I've got a pure system. Anyways, I'll survive. I guess that's my sacrifice. I said that I was going to give my all when I became a nurse, so there we go. I didn't realize it was going to infringe on my personal life too. There are days. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you didn't mind me sharing what I did. But some people are interested, some aren't. If you're not, you know, flip through and you see what I stitched and whatever. Anyhow, take care. I plan on making, I think maybe one more video. Maybe I'll give you guys a whip parade. Maybe. All right, you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.